Hope my voice is good back there. Well, my name is Caio. I'm a product designer in PandaDoc. I'm also a philosophy student, and today we're not gonna talk exactly about tools, but we want to talk about. I want to talk about impact. Our friend there talked a little bit about impact, and I also want to talk on a different perspective, maybe. Um, Not once or twice, I was invited to work in projects that I felt it was something wrong, something off. And it's obvious that we don't have autonomy all the time. Sometimes we are, in the market and we have to do stuff, right? And it's a little bit about what we want to talk today. I want to start talking about a guy. So this guy in 1947, he's a 28 years old. He liked to write poetry. Very cool guy, inventor. He created a product that basically impacted millions of people in the world. I don't think he's well known, but the world changed after this guy. He built a product that was reliable, has quality, durable. It was simple, easy to manufacture. He was tested. So it was a great product, right? No question asked. But there are more things that important beyond this in design because this guy invented something that really sold 100 million by 1978. Just for a view, iPhones sold 157 millions. We are talking about a product that, from a given perspective, has everything that we like. But there's something off in this product, right? I think we all agree that this is not a fantastic product. So where our responsibility stays in this? He was responsible for something that his product did. I don't know. I think maybe. So today I want to talk a bit about design ethics, right? Ethics, from a philosophy perspective, is a branch in philosophy. Philosophy study a lot of things. Ethics is one. And basically what we do in ethics is we explore what is right and what is wrong from a given perspective as well. And we think about how people act or should act on any given circumstances. We ask about ourselves about the nature of good. When you think, oh, I'm doing good to someone, this is something that is real or is just something we imagine doing good? I don't know. The ethics is divided in three sub-branches as well. The first one, meta-ethics, explore the nature of good, as I was just saying. So it's good something that exists in the world, or it depends. Each culture define what is good. The normative ethics is the written meta-ethics in a given way to act, for example. And then finally, we have applied ethics. Then we will talk about design. This is our path. To start with meta-ethics, meta-ethics is the study of the foundations of moral. If we think about layering a tree, right in the middle of this is the meta-ethics. So when we say this design is unjust or this feature is harmful, are we being objectives and saying, yes, harmful exists? Or we can say this depends on the cultural context. There's no right or wrong answer for this, actually. That's on the normative ethics enters, because there's no, in philosophy, much times we find that there's no right answers. They're just perspectives. And normative ethics is those perspectives that we can see the problems. I want to talk today about two. Um, there are in the world today only three ways that you can act ethically. There's not a bunch of ways. And we kind of mixed on a day to day in one or the other. The one is, doing one thing only. But there's not a wide range of ways of looking the ethics. So I want to talk about rules. One way is defining rules and following those rules. And the other is thinking about the consequences. The duty ethics is from this guy, Immanuel Kant. He was a pretty intelligent guy. He created a whole system of ethics that is based on the imperative categorical. So what he's saying is we should create rules and we should follow those rules no matter what. So he also said that we should not treat people as a means. I mean, I should not be harming these people to get something from me. So he has very strict rules and he doesn't care about the consequences. You should follow the rule and that's it. For example, if we say telling a truth is a rule, you should not lie on any circumstances, not even when this can cause harm to someone. They created a cool example is that if a Nazi soldier show up near your door and ask you if you are hiding someone inside, if you follow the rule, I should not lie, you should not lie. But eventually, there are pretty bad consequences of this. This way is also called deontology. And we can find some examples in design today that follow this way of seeing the world, this lens. We have code of conduct, for example, written codes. We have principles, design principles. We have the ethics of university, the ethics of work. Usually they are rules. And you should follow these rules. Otherwise, you don't agree with this guy. But we know that the world is more dynamic than that. And applying rules may not solve all the problems. For example, when we think about applying rules, how do we balance different rules, right? We can have rules that are fighting against each other. GDPR, for example, was a good thing, is a rule that we should follow, but we created pop-ups for users to agree or not. Are we informing the users or we are just following a rule? When you follow the rules only without thinking about, we also may come in unintended consequences. Like the example I gave you. And also, the hard part is Kant believed it in a universal rule that should be above us all. But who will write those rules? We have different cultures, different ways of seeing the world. We should not, it's hard to think about one rule that will fit us all. And then we have a different guy. This one, Stuart Mill. He come up with something that rules doesn't matter. Kant is wrong. And he might be, I don't know. He says that acting morally is giving the best consequences. And this is pretty good for us designers, right? We want to do the best for our users. This is kind of music for me. So thinking about the consequences, yeah, we are expecting this, of course. Thinking about the consequences, only the outcomes matter. Doesn't matter how do I do things. It matters if there's pleasure. They even say pleasure. If we spread pleasure among the most of the people, this is good for this guy. I don't know. So it's a very utilitarian way to see the world. And when we focus in outcomes, for example, or creating sustainable products, we are thinking about the world. We are thinking about the pleasure that we spread in the world. I mean, looks way better than following a rule, right? When we think about accessible interfaces, we are also thinking about the well-being of those who need that. So it's also good. Looks like this one is promising, right? Or maybe not. How do we say if a user is happy or addicted to a tool? I mean, I see people scrolling forever in whatever tool you need, and they seem happy to me. I don't know if they are. So happiness is a good measurement. I don't know. When we think about social platforms, it's hard to predict the outcomes, for example. When we design Twitter, for example, we say, hey, we want to be, everyone can say whatever they want. It's a free speech tool, and it's good. But who could predict that Twitter will have this information, for example? I don't know. It's hard. This guy is having a hard time. We also need to think about the benefit of now versus the long term. And again, we can design tools that increase how users engage with it, but perhaps we may create like a bunch of addictive people in our tools. I don't know. Those are two main theories that says to us what is right or wrong to do. And they both have problems. And it's hard for us to navigate in this I don't know what to do thing, right? So they only offer lenses for us. So perspectives that we can see the world. Sometimes we act according to the rules because it's good. Sometimes we think about the consequences and this is natural. But they exclude themselves on the real life. If you really think about them, you cannot follow both. And the hard part is there's no right one to follow. You just need to think about which one you will decide to follow and deal with the consequences. That's hard. That's not easy on us. There is no answer of what to do. And that's where the applied ethics come in. So we grab all we learn on the normative ethics and we apply to the world. So we bring those principles to the world. I put here some examples of tools that somehow designers interact with it. When we think about attention and manipulation, for example, are we respecting people's autonomy or we are just capturing data? I don't know. When we think about algorithms, social media recommendations, engines, and all that, are we respecting? I mean, who controls the data? Are we designing and empowering people, or we are just manipulating them? Or we are being manipulated? I don't know. When we think about new tech platforms, so who benefits from it? If we think from a utilitarian perspective, worth having like a comfortable ride sharing app and having a minority of people that doesn't get enough money to live? Hard question. When we think about the electronics and the environment, so are we planning for obsolescence in devices? Or are we designing something that recycle our clothes, for example? Are we responsible for some stuff like that? Hmm. At this point, should be pretty obvious that design is more than aesthetics and functionality, right? There was something hidden in that invention that we talked in the beginning. There's something else there. Every choice we make about tension, algorithms, labor, environment has ethical consequences. Doesn't matter how you see the world. Doesn't matter which rule you should think about, but we should think about at least. And apply ethics is that bridge that between theory and the real life dilemmas. If design is more than aesthetics and usability, then what is really about? I think it's responsibility because our choices shape people behaviors, shape people's opportunities, and even shape people rights in the world. Democracy, we shape democracy, reshape democracy. It's about integration because what we do behind our screens doesn't stand alone in the world. We connect technology, society, the environment, and ethics as well. So we start seeing ethics not as a something so abstract anymore. It becomes a situation on how we practice design every day. We should just start thinking about this. We don't need to find all the answers. No one did so far. There's no agreement on which ethical path we should follow, but at least we should consider this, I believe, because we don't stand in isolation in the world. When we think about what we define as good or bad in metaphysics, when we interact with the society, in the humans, medicine, technology, engineer, more and more, we are the intersection of the human. This is why design, I believe, is more than responsibility, is maybe more than responsibility and integration. I don't know yet. Because maybe every choice we make as designers, it ripples across the systems. And maybe we don't know what's going to happen with the tool we design, but we can try. At the end of the day, we are shaping not only interactions, we are shaping the society itself in a way. So, in my opinion, when we talk about design ethics, we should ask not only how to design better artifacts or products, we should ask ourselves how should we design, in a way, a better world? And that's the message I have.